if you have a pension, you almost certainly own some shares in Shell. They've also been operating in Nigeria for nearly 60 years, so they have the size and the expertise to meet that challenge. In the way was Dan Etete, who acquired the field while he was oil minister. He was later convicted of money laundering in a separate case. For the first time tonight, Shell acknowledges they did engage with him to do the deal. Shell and the Italian oil company Eni acquired the field in 2011, paying $1.3 billion to the Nigerian government. That's more than Nigeria's health budget, but it didn't go on public services. Instead, more than $1 billion of it was passed to a company called Malabu, controlled by Etete. From there, according to documents filed by Italian prosecutors, nearly half was forwarded to the then President Goodluck Jonathan and members of his government.
Shell have always said that they only paid the Nigerian government. Today, Shell has changed its tune and are now saying that they engaged with Dan Etete, a former oil minister and convicted money launderer.
So what prompted Shell to change its position?
Well, emails obtained by anti-corruption charities Global Witness and Finance Uncovered and seen by the BBC show Shell representatives negotiating with Mr. Etete a year before the deal was finalised.
Etete can smell the money. If at nearly 70 years old he does turn his nose up at 1.2 billion, he is completely certifiable.
That email was forwarded to the then Chief Executive Peter Vosa, showing knowledge of Etete's involvement went right to the top.
I, Goodluck, Ebele, Jonathan.
Other emails show Shell had reason to suspect that millions would be paid to the president. In an email from July, the same employee says Etete's negotiating strategy was
Clearly an attempt to deliver significant revenues to GLJ as part of any transaction.
A spokesperson for Goodluck Jonathan described the allegations as a false narrative. Dan Etete did not respond. Now, this deal was done just months after Shell had paid $30 million to the US Department of Justice to settle previous allegations of bribery in Nigeria and elsewhere on condition of future good behaviour.
Shell, having been investigated over a previous deal, you would think that they would be quite cautious. But instead of walking away from a deal that was clearly problematic from a corruption, potentially bribery standpoint, they doubled down and attempted to sanitize the deal.
Shell's partners Eni said there was no credible evidence that any of its staff were involved in wrongdoing. Shell still maintained the deal with the Nigerian government was legal and that any political payoffs were done without their knowledge. But today marks an important concession in a huge deal mired in controversy for years. Simon Jack, BBC News.